All right, here we go. This is going to be a look at Jim Klein, this Jim Klein from the Georgia Sting, the Fortson Georgia Sting, of course. A legend in the TCAP community. It was big of a legend in the TCAP community, I think, as one can be. Despite not having a sit down with Chris Hansen, I think he's probably at the top of that list. And of course, it's all because of post-TCAP fan-created content. The King, Candid Fellow himself, with the soundboard calls, never get old to me. That's some of the funniest shit I've ever had experienced in my life. You know, it never get old to me. Exactly my type of humor. I can watch those for hours, and they never get old to me. But yes, that's it. But we'll take a look at his footage here. You know, it's not the most interesting footage in the world, no. But I feel like I want to do it justice. I want to give it a look at it because, well, Jim Klein is probably one of my most watched predators in terms of screen time or anything like that, considering the phone calls and everything like that. But yes, let's get into it. Jim Klein. I don't know what kind of car that is that he's rolling up in, but this looks like some generic white SUV. Generic white male, generic white SUV. Let's get in here. And first things first here, 21 hours. So 2,100 hours. Give me a second. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I thought I wasn't going crazy here. I'm not a fucking, you know, I don't do this military time shit. I don't know. It's not that easy for me. I never do it. So yeah, but it's 2,100. 21. Which is 9 o'clock. He was supposed to be down there at 7. What the fuck, Jim Klein? He was talking about being down there around 7. Come on, Jim. You can't even hold a time schedule? Like, what the fuck, dude? That's ridiculous. Let's go. First, that's the first strike against you, Jim Klein. You don't even show up. You show up 2 hours later than you were supposed to.
Try and get him. He's looking for a black female, so we're trying to pull this up.
Black female. So he's coming there for a black decoy, which brings up an interesting question. You know, I mean, it makes sense for why Perverted Justice used all the different races of decoys in the chat logs. Of course, that makes sense. But it creates a little bit of a logistics issue when they actually show up because you don't have a black decoy on site or any other race on site. So you have to try to lure the guy in with the fucking, you know, with someone who's not. You can't pull it off. It creates a little bit of an issue, a little bit of a legal issue there too, as Jim Klein might say. And again, you know, I don't know what it is about this Georgia house, man. Why is there just like trash all over the lawn? It doesn't, like, I don't know why it's like that. But anyways, yes, Jim Klein coming for the black female. It's interesting though. It's about his fantasy. Motherfucker right here. Oh, look at how happy he is in this photo. Oh man, do you think that this is the happiest he's been? Oh man, I don't know. And he got Hamburger here, of course, on the side. But yeah. He was specifically, I don't think he was specifically looking for a black female or not, but I just wonder if, you know, was that like a fantasy of his, you know, I don't know. But yeah, let's keep going here. Let's actually get into it. How about that?
James Klein, a married man with 3 children, here to meet a girl who told him.
So, okay, first off here, okay, I'm sorry, I'm pausing it. We're not even like 5 seconds in. I'm sorry, but whatever. You guys should expect this by now. But anyways, first of all here, dude, he looks like such like a dad, like a generic dad. He's got the fucking like, I don't know if he thinks anything about it. I don't know if he just like doesn't have anything else in his wardrobe here, but he just doesn't look like it. Was this really the best outfit you could have worn, Jim? I mean, you got like a tan colored polo shirt tucked into your pants, and he's got like the generic white dad shoes on, generic white male, generic white SUV, generic white shoes. Look at that, man. It's a generic white fucking palooza here. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, this is just a typical, you know, middle-aged man look here by Jim Klein. It's not exactly the outfit that I would wear if I was trying to impress somebody or trying to, or, you know, going for a first date in his mind. And you know what? It's interesting, too. He's talking about spending the night, but he doesn't actually bring his stuff into the house. That's interesting. But yeah, he's married and he has 3 children. I don't know if it's ever come out how old those children were, but I believe one of them is a girl anyway. At least one of them is a girl. It's gotta be like, yeah, I wonder if you would have gotten into that during the interview with Chris Hansen, if you would have said it, like Bob Selena said, I have a 16 boy, 12 girl, and 11 boy, I think it was. But yeah, you know, it's interesting. He's got 3 children, wife. You know, I mean, you should be pretty thankful for that, I would say, Jim Klein. And no, he's just going to throw it all away. And it gets even worse after that, too. But yeah, he's fucking rolling up here, Jim Klein. Let's
3
go.
children. He's here to meet a girl who told him she was 15. Online, he calls himself Closer 2000.
I wonder what's the origin of this picture, man. He's just a complete contrast from from the pictures we've seen of him recently. You know, his registered sex offender photos. Complete contrast. This photo and then this one right here at the top. Just a complete contrast to what he looks like nowadays on his registered sex offender photos. Oh man, Jim is so excited. He is so excited, man. I picture him as kind of like, you know, a goofy guy, you know, in real life. You know, he would be like that guy that, you know, he kind of like, he's ripping around dad jokes, you know. He's trying to just be like a, you know, he thinks he's fucking hilarious, but he's actually not. But he doesn't actually know it, and no one's gonna tell him because, you know, he's just kind of a, you know, he's pretty relatively harmless in his society, but he probably thinks he's like fucking a big comedian, but he's actually not. He's actually not. He's actually really fucking annoying. Jim, you're really fucking annoying. I bet, anyway.
2003. He asks the girl if she's ever experienced oral sex. The decoy tells him no, and he says, I can tell you one thing, my tongue would be all over you, your mouth, your nipples, down between your legs, too. Now,
oh, Jim Klein. Yeah, Jim Klein, you know, I've read this whole chat log. He's very asphyxiated with the oral, as they say. It's a pretty short chat log. I recommend it. It's not really one of the best chat logs or anything out there, but you know, it's a short read, it's a quick read, but yeah, it's like he tries to, in this chat log, I believe he tries to like build up to it, like he's trying to build up to it, and then he kind of like, he brings it up, and then he switches pace, switches topics. He doesn't really get too graphic, I believe, but yeah, you know, he kind of makes it pretty clear, I think, you know, from the beginning anyway, what his intentions were. It's a pretty, you know, it's not the most graphic chat log I've ever read or anything, but, oh look, there it is. My tongue would be all over. Yeah, it's like it kind of builds up. It does, like, here he is, like right here, the contributor even notes that he throws all of his caution into the wind. He comes in and, you know, he just kind of says that right away, and that's kind of, you know, where it kind of turns on the dime right here. It's kind of innocent in the first half, I recall. And then kind of just builds up to that crescendo right there that just fucking, oh, there it goes. How do I know this isn't some kind of sting operation? They show up and it's a sting, you have the handcuffs thrown on them, and boom, registered sex offender for the rest of your life. Let's go.
2003 is walking in our house.
I gotta throw my laundry in, but I made you tea.
Oh, thank you. Oh, man. Oh, ooh, Jim. You know, he comes in, Jim Klein's all googly-eyed as he walks in. Oh, thank you. You know, sweet tea.
I gotta throw my laundry in, but I made you tea.
I wonder what he was going to do. Was he trying to follow? Because how did he end up right here and he's got his hands on his hips? You're like, oh, shit. Imagine that. Imagine that. You know, you come in here and all of a sudden you see some fucking bloke come out of the curtain here. It's just like, wait a second. You're like, all the emotions running through your mind, or all the thoughts running through your mind here. You know, what's going to happen next? Oh, no. I like that these guy's hands on his hips. It's not... That's not a great position to be in there, Jim. But yeah, oh man, here he comes. Boom, the end of your life. Boom, registered sex offender for the rest of your life.
Good. Why don't you have a seat right over there? Did you find the
Oh no! Look at his trademark befuddled expression. Look at him. Oh, he's so confused. He's like, wait, what is going on here? Oh man, this is like you get a first good look at Jim Klein here, your television debut, Jim, and you just fucking look like you look like you're so damn confused. You just look like a fucking imbecile.
Did you find the place okay?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
It took you a while.
Huh?
Did you get lost?
Oh, shit.
I don't know what you're talking about. Again, why does he come up with that? Did you get lost? I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the right time that, when he grills you about the chat log, that's when you're supposed to say, I don't know what you're talking about. Not when you fucking just go... Not when you ask you, did you find the house okay? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. After you just said, no, I didn't, What are you doing, Jim? What are you doing?
Why are you here tonight?
I don't
know what you're talking
You don't know
about.
what I'm talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Why are you
I love
here
that.
tonight?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know
You
what
don't
you're
know
talking
what I'm
about.
talking
No. And he just gets up and fucking walks out. Oh man, and he's like, he shakes his head, he shakes his head as he walks up, like, no, I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not gonna stick around for this. Nope, no
You don't
sir.
know what I'm talking about.
He may be able to run away from us.
Oh man, there he goes out the door. Bum bum bum. Do you think did he think he was gonna get away with it? I think he just I don't know if he thought he was gonna get arrested. I don't know, because his reaction to seeing the police, I don't know, it really took him by surprise, I
Georgia
think.
authorities believe
Let's take a
his
look.
chat log showed intent to have sex with a minor. He's arrested.
He just gets completely fucked. Like, he goes in there,
From us.
walks out,
Georgia
there he
authorities
goes.
believe his chat log showed intent to have sex with a minor. He's
And
arrested.
then boom, they come out, and he's like, okay guys, come on. You think he's like, oh man, like he's just like, do you think he's thinking about all the things that he just threw away? I hope so. Anyways, he gets his head, he gets down, and they're saying to get down, and he's just still sitting there. Like, they're all the way down, Jim, all the way down, you idiot. And then he's just on his knees. Oh, of course, I'm for real. I mean, like that. Ooh, this is a good shot right here, actually, because you get Jim looking at the guys with the fucking guns on him. His heart must be racing right now. Oh man, his heart must be racing, man. That is imagine that, man. I've never been in this situation, and I can't imagine what it would be like. It's just all adrenaline, it's all nervousness, it's all anxiety running through your head right now. I mean, oh man, the worst moment of your life right here. Ooh, that is interesting. You're just staring down the guy with the gun right here. Oh man. All the way down.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Just getting back from lunch.
I love that too. Jesus Christ, Camden. I appreciate Camden's his editing. Very good editing right there. Feel very immersed here. And the police interview, of course, by Matt Damon. Because the guy looks like Matt Damon. He does actually really look like Matt Damon. But yes, we got a little bit here from the rest of the episode.
He opened the door and said, come on.
Opened the door and said, come on in. Jim tries that excuse. He tries the Mohammed Abdallah excuse where he goes, I was just driving and they just, opened the door and told me to come on in, so I came in. Is that the excuse? That's the best excuse you can come up with there, Jim Klein. You're out here in the bowels of fucking Georgia, and he's just like, hey, open the door, so come on in, I'm just looking for a place to, rest and relax for the night, it's 9 o'clock at night, I've been driving around, I was lost for 2 hours, I was supposed to be down here at 7, it's pretty stressful, so, I was just looking for someone that would give me some hospitality tonight, that's it, that's really it. What's the other idiot? The other idiot from Georgia said the same thing too, didn't he? Something like that? Brian Lindsay, the can't control my horny level guy, he said the same thing, kind of, didn't he? I'm just driving around trying to learn Georgia. Wow. I fucked that up. I'm just driving around trying to learn Georgia again. He said something like that. As I butcher it. Let's go.
He wishes it never happened was someone who also ran from us,
Some more questions for you, sir.
but did talk to police.
Oh, great. Get to see it again here. Look at that.
Remember 43-year-old Jim Klein? Online, he made plans to lick a 15-year-old all over. He admits to investigators he's been married for 20 years.
Oh, man. It's like a complete shift. Like, dude, this guy knows that he fucked up now. And he's just, ooh. Hate to be in your shoes, Jim.
has 3 children, ages 11, 13, and 15.
11, 13, and 15. Okay, so he did clarify that. Okay, so 11, 13, and 15. I hope that they weren't all 3 of them were girls. Like, that would be really, really creepy. You know, the family has to live with that for the rest of their life, you know? I mean, you try to meet a girl who's either the same age or close to the same age as your daughter, Jim. I mean, ooh, that's creepy. I don't know what his status is nowadays. I don't know if he's still married or, you know, how often he sees his children. But I really hope that you know, nothing happened with those children. But I don't think I can't picture it. I picture Jim Klein as a guy who just kind of got in the heat of the moment, and you know, and saw the opportunity. Finally got the opportunity. He might have been looking at it for it before to cheat on his wife, and you know, he got caught up in too much that he could handle here.
Would you feel if this was your 15-year-old or your 11-year-old or your 13-year-old? How would you feel?
I'd feel awful.
I'd feel awful.
That's it? Just awful?
No. I mean,
You were pretty much down here tonight, 100 miles away from home, to do what you were going to do.
I like that. I'm sorry. He says, no, I'd feel awful. Just awful? Like, interrogator, don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel, okay? I don't like that. But he goes, and then Jim Klein's like, no.
That's it? Just awful?
Like, spit it out, Jim. Spit it out.
Down here tonight, 100 miles away from home, to do what you were going to do and damage this child's mind for the rest of her life. Sex, maybe sex to you, but to this child, 15, she's got to live with this for the rest of her life.
And Klein actually does admit he was planning on staying the night.
I was going to leave tomorrow morning.
Oh, no. That's right. He was coming back. He said he was going to be down there around, you know, he's just getting, as soon as he can get out of the truck or whatever. No, what the fuck was it? He says, you know, it all depends on when he can get out of here. I mean, you realize that, you know. He was coming from work, and so that's probably why. I don't know if he went home first, and that's maybe why he didn't change his clothes. That's a good, that would be a good enough, that'd be a better explanation, but still, you know, I mean... you know, but like, you know, what did he even do for work? I think it's been speculated about he's been some sort of construction manager or overseer, I guess. Some idiot that shows up and just kind of orders people around, and then he just goes and gets Chinese food for lunch, you know, and spends like 3 hours at lunch. Oh, Jim.
Yeah.
She said I could stay there. She said the house says it was a big house.
Big house. So he tries to kind of say that, oh yeah, you know, she's gonna sleep in her bedroom. It's a big house. I'll find somewhere to sleep. I'll sleep in, you know, the couch. I'll sleep in the parents' bed. I might sleep in the backyard, something like that. You know, it's a big house. Not necessarily gonna sleep with her, but yeah, it's an interesting excuse there by Jim. He fucking says that. That's a bit odd.
Did y'all discuss any of those options there?
No.
And you brought 4 movies.
4 movies.
You arrived at 9:30 at night.
9:30 at night.
You gonna stay up all night watching movies?
Yeah. I mean, you know, if she wanted to watch all 4, we would have watched all 4.
I wonder what movies he brought, you know. Jim Klein strikes me as being not down to earth with the kids. So he'll probably bring like some 80s flick. Like, this was really popular when I was in high school, you know? I guarantee you it's still relatable to you, fucking 2006, 15 years old, you know? I bet you it's still relatable to you. Or something like that. I could see him bringing, like, some cheesy film like that. Maybe some cheesy horror film or something. I don't know, maybe he would bring, like, Titanic or something, because he's, like, trying to be romantic, but that movie's fucking ridiculous anyway. I just see him either bringing some really cheesy comedy or some really cheesy serious film. There's no real in-between there. I don't think he'd bring, like, a modern film. I don't really think he would. I don't think he'd bring something... He doesn't strike me as the guy that would bring something that, you know, an actual 15-year-old girl would want to actually watch. But maybe he sourced his kids out. Maybe he was saying, hey, what do you guys like these days? I'm trying to think of references, 06 fucking references, movies, I don't know. But, you know, trying to gather what they like and trying to say, okay, these guys, my kids like these, so maybe I'll bring those instead. Maybe he did that too. I don't know. Let's go.
Would you have done anything else if she wanted to do anything else?
You know, it was talked
It
about.
was talked about.
Klein
He
says-
fucking hangs himself there too. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was talked about, you know.
Want to do anything else?
You know, it was talked about.
Klein says he had 2 glasses of wine before he started chatting online, and it clouded his judgment. But that doesn't explain why he showed up the next day, apparently stone cold sober.
What an idiot. He blames it on having 2 glasses of wine. And first of all, you know, like, drunk thoughts or drunk actions are sober thoughts, right? Is that the saying? Something like that? So I don't think Jim Klein was acting, you know, out of his own. I don't think blaming it on being drunk is a good enough excuse. It's not an excuse at all, but it's like you know, that whole saying, you know, the drunk actions are sober thoughts, you know. That's what Jim Klein was talking about there. So yeah, it's not really, it doesn't make you look any better, Jim. But like, seriously, 2 glasses of wine and that sends you over the edge, Jim. Fucking idiot. What an idiot. I love this here. You get the
showed up the next
second
day.
angle of him, you know, getting the big reveal by Chris Hansen.
Apparently stone cold
He
sober.
puts his hands on his
Seriously
hips.
considering not even coming down here, and I was just saying, you know, I just don't feel comfortable about this. I don't feel good about this. I just don't think it's a good idea.
And again, he says that. That's the classic excuse. Another classic excuse that the Predators like to go to is, oh, I was seriously considering not even coming down. Seriously considering, you know, I just don't feel comfortable about this. I just don't feel good about this. I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, okay, so you have those thoughts, but you went anyway. You knew it was wrong, idiot, and you kept driving. You know, it's not a self-driving car, Jim Klein. You have the responsibility. You have the choice. You have the option to not keep going, yet you did it anyway. You're only saying that because you got caught. You know, it's not like he would have showed up there and been like, oh, you know, I just don't feel comfortable about this. He was going to fucking do it. He brought the films. He was going to stay over. He already planned on staying over. Fucking idiot, Jim Klein. Fucking idiot.
I go to jail and I'll be a registered sex offender for the rest of my life.
And that's exactly what happened.
All right.
That is great, man. That he's like, that's exactly what ended up happening too. Like, that's great, man. These Georgia Predators are fucking idiots. Oh man, that's it. You know, I don't really have anything else to add to that. Jim Klein's a fucking legend. I love him. Him and William Ryle, ironically, you know, guys that were not even given like a second look really during the original broadcasting. You know, you watch the episode, you see Jim Klein and William Ryle, you're like, I don't even remember who those people are at the end of it. But because of post-TCAP content, because of the Legend King Candid Fellow, they fucking live on forever. I mean, does he know? He has to know. I hope he knows anyway. Because he's... I don't know. He probably won't ever Google himself. But I wonder if like a family member did or something. Like, you know, Googling Jim Klein or something like that. And they find those soundboard photos, like soundboard videos from like 15 years later. Still not living it down, Jim Klein. Oh, that's great. That is great. 23 minutes of this, by the way. Fucking hell. That's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, see you guys later.